Of course, when I finally get it fixed, there's no wind at all. Hi, I'm Joe, and welcome to my first side project video. My original idea was to make a video of a side project and post it on Wednesdays. I'd call it Worrisome Wednesdays. Projects that make my wife question either my safety or my sanity. A couple of years ago, I built a windmill in my backyard to generate some electricity. Now, if that means you're thinking, wow, he's off-grid. No, I'm not. It doesn't make that much. But I still like the windmill. But last fall, we had a storm that completely overwhelmed the windmill. The turbine blades spun up way too fast, and it exploded all over the yard. So my side project this week is to repair it and bring it back to life. The first step will be tipping the windmill down onto its side. I've done this a couple of times, so I figured out a method that works pretty well. So I need a long straight pole that will be attached to the bottom of the windmill and act like an axle as it tips over. In my woods there's a large and very dense grove of cedars that need to be thinned out. I'll select one of these trees, cut it, and drag it out of the forest. Oh yeah, good going, now you've got it stuck. Yeah, come on. Pull it. Oh. Just give it that old huck to it. Yeah, and... Come on, go. Whew, I'm glad it didn't fall on my toes. These trees are so densely packed that they fall standing up. Think of that. That's right, pull it over on yourself. Better rethink this, Joe. The stick is stuck. Hurrah! Yeah, strong man. Pretend like you expected that. Now to clean off all the little branches before leaving the woods. Dragging a long tree out can be difficult sometimes because of all the turns and bends in the path. Now to put the axle in position. 20 years old was only 17 years ago, right, Joe? Just pick that thing up. Whoop! Yeah, I got this. Alright, one tree down, but one more to go. Now we need a gen pole. Now, if you don't know what a gen pole is, don't worry about it. You'll see as the video goes on. Out in the woods, I have a dead standing elm with a nice fork in the top. That's exactly what I need. Now please enjoy this beautiful scene of a beautiful forest on a beautiful day in beautiful New England, where a beautiful man is doing manly things. And we drag this log out, same as before, only this time you get to look at me. And now to move it into position and trim the branches. Be cool, yeah. Now put it in the hammer loop. Just in the hammer loop. Yeah, first try. Now the axle log gets attached to 2 of the 3 legs of the windmill. And attach a rope to the top. I hate ladders, can you tell? I secured the axle in place by driving pegs into the ground. This way the axle can rotate, but it can't move. And now it's time to attach the gen pole. The gen pole will be fastened perpendicular to the windmill frame, so as the windmill tips, it will hold the rope up giving it more mechanical advantage. And I finally detached the restraints that hold the windmill to a big granite block below it. Now the tipping begins. One of the ropes is attached to my tractor. The other one is attached to my brother, who is slowly pulling the windmill over. Once the windmill's weight takes over, the tractor will simply let it down easy. Here you can see what I mean by the gen pole keeping the rope at a better angle. The Eagle has landed.
My axle strategy seems to have worked really well. Just rotated around that point and came on down. Well, we got it down. It's in pretty good shape for the shape it's in. Here's my diode pack and slip ring, which I built myself. It looks awful, but it still works. It's surviving. Up here is the alternator itself. That was a wash machine motor, I think, in its previous life. I bought it already converted for this use. Turns out it's not a very good generator for a windmill. It doesn't take very much RPM to start it going, but the magnets it uses are very weak. So you get up to about, I don't know, 2-3 amps, maybe 4 amps of output, and it just can't soak up any more torque, and so you get a really big windstorm and the RPM just flies away. The alternator's not able to hold that back or turn that into usable electricity. Anyway, so now I just got to pull that nut off the front, which is sometimes easier said than done because everything wants to spin. Once I do, this center cross will come off and I can turn that into my new turbine wheel for the, would you call it that? Whatever. Oh, never mind, the pliers did it. Never mind, the pliers did it. I put anti-seize on this nut last time. That was a really good decision. This was my second design of blade, and it worked out really well. Instead of using foam and composites, it's just, I don't know if you can see that, coroplast, like they make campaign signs and stuff out of. It's cheap and it's very durable, and this lasted for about 1.5 years before the hub blew apart, and these blades are still good to go. So I'm going to call that a real win in design work. The bottom has an airfoil shaped piece of wood, and then I just welded the two pieces together by sticking a hot soldering iron through both of them. It may not perform the best aerodynamically, but it works pretty darn well.
So I started making a set of new blocks. And installed them in the old blade skins. Next, I had to make a new hoop to replace the wooden one that had broken. I did this out of flat strap and decided to make an octagon out of it and use the 8 blades that I could find. I could never find the 9th one. The theme of this project is a job done badly is better than not done at all.
I burned the tip of my finger while welding. Don't know if you can see that. See, they make these welding gauntlets to keep you from burning yourself on the hot metal. But, yeah. I think these ones are done.
The blades are fastened with 3-inch wood screws, going through the hoop in the middle and into the blocks of wood at the bottom of each blade. I mistakenly thought that our cat Fitz would like to be on camera. He just wanted my shoulder. And then I went to install the blade wheel. Then, after a hurried dinner and racing the waning daylight, I enlisted my brother and my wife to help me set this thing back up again. And it actually went really smoothly. So there you have it. My windmill is fixed. How much power does it generate? Probably 100 watt-hours a day. That's about 1/10 of a kilowatt-hour. Is it practical? No. Is it cost-effective? No. Does it bring me joy? Yeah, it does. And that made it worth it.